Hello. I'm still officially off from YouTube on a hiatus while I make the course for my Buy Me a Coffee members. Thank you if you are one. But I thought I'd check in with this short video after hours and talk about knees and squats and how squats help the knees recover and how they help me and how they're good for general flexibility as well. My backstory is that as a young man, I hurt my knees and I couldn't get down the mountains without the knees locking up. I thought that this is not fixable because I believed in the metaphor of the body as a car, and I thought that if something is broken, then it's broken and it cannot be fixed without replacing the part. And if you can't replace the part, you're stuck. However, I did some physiotherapy, I did a lot of cycling, I avoided squatting like the plague, putting my knees over toes. Then I came to Taiwan. I started to go to acupuncture. I also was carrying Nordic walking sticks, which take a lot of weight off on the way down from your knees. And then gradually I recovered, and this is what this video is about. So let's talk about some reasons to do squats for better knee health and general flexibility. Now, thank God that this craze of not putting the knees over toes is over. Because if you think about it, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're not going to use the range of motion that you have, and then you are going to lose it. You are going to develop problems. So what happened for me is I came to Taiwan and I realized that everyone here can do Asian squat except me. So I was on the case. And, if you're interested, check out the whole video on Asian squat. What? Seems like I've lost some time. I guess I was abducted by the aliens. Okay, let's talk about toe flexibility. And most people lose the flexibility in their toes as they age. Well, the truth is people lose their flexibility everywhere as they age, but it doesn't have to be so. And one of the radio Tyson movements that if you pay attention to it, it helps you with this toe flexibility. It's the toe raise. You don't raise yourself on the balls of your feet or with your feet flat. You're supposed to raise yourself on your toes, like this, like a ballerina. So there are a lot of gimmicks out there to help your toes stay flexible, and there are of course barefoot shoes, which I don't use. I just go barefoot, but if you are going to do that, there are so many warnings to pile on top that I would just say, don't do it unless you really know what you're doing. However, if you do that radio Tyson move properly, you are helping the toe flexibility. And also, Asian squats are nice and great, but the squat on your toes also helps your toe flexibility. So why not do that? And it's a really good move. There are other things you can do for yourself to help hike-proof your ankles. For example, this is a stretch that I do, and it helps a lot. It has saved me many times from, hurting myself while hiking when my foot just went under me and nothing happened. Before we go on, I wanted to say a few words about the isolationist view of everything on YouTube. It seems that, there is this one exercise. If you do this, then that's wonderful. It's going to fix this, or you're gonna do that exercise, and that's the only thing you need, and it will be just wonderful for everything. Well, I think you should not concentrate on any one particular area just by itself, but on everything. Your whole body, all the joints working in concert. And to that end, you can check out my Move Like a Kid at 50 video, as well as the video I've just put out recently with the animal movements that I do just to help me be flexible. And if this is something that resonates with you, then I'm building a course based on these principles and this approach. And if you become a Buy Me a Coffee member, you can have early access to it while it's being built. And later it's going to become something that you can buy and, will be much more expensive. So these types of knee movements are very useful, in life. They come handy in all sorts of sports where the deep knee bend is just very useful, trying to catch a ball or do anything else. And here I feel that our Western toilets are a lost opportunity. In Asia, in many Asian countries, as well as in some other countries, there is a hole in the ground that the squat toilet really helps with daily practicing of this useful movement. The ability to do this has the great carryover for sports that I do and also for hiking. The other great thing about this is that this is something that you can do without much equipment or any equipment. So it's very accessible. And some people use slant boards to begin with, but you can use a book. And just build your tolerance gradually to be able to have those deep knee bends and lift yourself without problems and without, eventually using your hands. So, how are your knees lately? Have you been doing much toe squatting? What has been your experience? Share in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you again next time. Bye!